What's the socially acceptable way for me to say, like, hey, have you updated your will lately? Are we still in there at that $1 million? Like, what is that? How do you broach that? Because I'd imagine that if you have a bunch of these commitments going on, you have to, like, oh, it's time to check in with this person and see if everything's copacetic with us being named in their will. How is that something that there is just a best practice on how to approach them and have that conversation?
Well, first of all, it shouldn't be that you
Yeah.
don't talk to them for 5 years and then check back in. So I'm going to start there that best practice is that you have been stewarding that relationship. So one of my colleagues was like, well, how do you talk about legacy giving without focusing on death? And that has never actually been part of any conversation that I've had with a donor in the past 14 years of doing this work. It's always about like what are your goals? What do you hope to achieve? What has meaning to you? And so if you just frame it like that, you're not going to turn your donor off. They're going to be happy that you are checking in with them and
I think if,
confirming
if you want to look
their
at it another
intentions.
way, which I think is kind of what you're saying as well, is that you're not focusing on the death. What you're saying is, what does living forever look like, right? Like, you're not dying, right?
Totally.
Your giving lives long beyond your physical body, but that's the conversation. The conversation is, what does your kind of eternal life look like? And that's not the same thing in talking about death and dying.